speech with our Toastmasters Club. And so he'll be giving his icebreaker. And the title of the speech is The Power of Decisions. Please help me welcome Ben.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm really grateful to be here today, among people with so much positive energy I've seen the last few weeks, and this enthusiasm for personal growth, which is something that's very important to me. I'm also grateful to be human, believe it or not, because as humans, we have the unique power to change our lives in an instant through each decision we make. Maybe some of you know that the word decide actually means literally to cut off. And when we realize something's not quite right in our lives and we decide to cut off that inertia where we're going right now, that's when we can recreate ourselves and blaze a new trail for ourselves. Today I'm going to talk about a few times I've done this. The first time that really stands out to me is when I studied abroad in Australia. And I had the opportunity to travel by myself all throughout Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. And this was just such an incredible adventure that opened my mind to new possibilities. I realized that I was stuck in a bit of a rut. Even though things looked good on paper, I had incredible grades in my mechanical engineering courses, I realized that it wasn't really my passion, and I was just kind of stuck in that daily grind that so many people are in. But I was able to bust out of this by doing things I'd never done, conquering fears, pushing my comfort zone. For example, I had a really strong fear of heights, but yet I decided to skydive and canyon jump and glacier climb and stunt plane. Even when there were obstacles in my way, like someone had said someone had died on the glacier climb. I said, thanks a lot, but I'm going to try it anyway. And the guy had just done something stupid. I tried to not be stupid. So I had all this amazing growth, and I also reflected about where I wanted to go with my life, what I wanted to do. And I became very curious about business and entrepreneurship. So I decided to pursue that and finished in 2008 with a degree in business from University of Washington. So from there, I did a few jobs in sales in a variety of fields. And that was great. I learned a lot about sales and communication, customer service. But again, I did some reflection and thought again about maybe there's some other possibilities out there. I thought back to in high school when I had my very first job was coaching. And I never thought of that as a career. It was just the first job coaching sports camps. But then I also thought about my first student I had tutored in peer tutoring. My student Brian had a D+, was really struggling in his Spanish classes. And just within a very short period of time, he was able to leap up to an A- just by learning some very basic, what I thought was some simple basic techniques for vocab learning and such, and study habits that transformed how quickly he was able to learn those things. And so I saw the power in that to lift people up and decided to pursue that as a profession. And that's worked out great since then. I'm building a business now focused on GMAT prep, the test to enter MBA business school. And I got a lot of experience doing this online. There was a startup company that hired me to do math tutoring through their iPad app, which was something a lot of people don't even know exists. That decision to focus on tutoring coincided with another really important decision. I had a bit of a wake-up call 2 weeks before my sister's wedding. I tried trying on my pants and they weren't too friendly. I had let myself go a little bit or a lot, and I realized that my pants were likely to bust on the rear on the dance floor, because I can get a little wild. I won't show you right here, but another time you can ask me. And I hate to say it, but it was a realistic fear. It actually happened a couple times, but it didn't quite hit me. But that image of my sister's wedding and some funny pictures wouldn't turn out so well in the album. So I made a quick decision to pick up my nutrition book. My friend had actually wrote Cracking Your Calorie Code, an amazing book, and I immediately quit using alcohol, sugar, and grains, and within 2 weeks I dropped 15 pounds and my suit had survived. And since then, the bigger victory was learning about the power of habits, and I've applied this to all other areas of my life. Mindfulness, and all the areas of health, gratitude, journaling, and this has made such an amazing impact in other areas, as well as for my students, because I've made that probably the biggest focus of my tutoring is to create automaticity, I call it, where my students are getting in the habits of doing things correctly and constantly going back and immediately correcting all the bad habits and creating that automaticity of success. I learned that both habits and decisions work like compound interest. They build and build and grow and build upon each other and blossom into something that has so much power, like a snowball rolling down a hill. So, what decisions lie ahead? There's so many possibilities and so many things, it's hard to decide. But that's the beauty of life. I have many ideas for apps and tools to help people transform their lives. But really, it's quite simple. All it takes is a decision. And let's all be grateful to be human.